Oh, super chin-up time. Press hands on parallel bar for maximum chin-up power. Make sure to go to failure for maximum muscle gain. Hey. Super Kung Fu grip. Gripper will result from doing the chin-up too. Perfect form. We expect nothing less. On to get to 50 chin-upper. You are done. We'll have to put it up here because this double chin is really unflattering. It makes me look fucking ugly and fat. And it's my dirty ass bed. So some guy asked me how you get over a back tweak, and obviously there's different levels of tweaks. I had a tweak 2 or 3 weeks before I peaked for my deadlift a few weeks ago, and that was just an annoying pain. And so my back would get I'd wake up and it was stiff. And so what I did is the day after the tweak, because I had to do, let's say I tweaked it on Wednesday from squats, and so on Thursday I did some deadlifts up to 425 with no belt, although it wouldn't make a difference. Although you probably should use a belt if you're gonna do this. But I figure if I can do 425 with no belt, with no problem, then it'll be okay. And so it just ended up being a mental hurdle, okay, because it feels like shit. The camera's over here, but I don't want to stare on the edge of my phone. So you just have to work through it, okay? And so if it's a bad one, then you want to get blood flow to the area. So you do squats and deadlifts, and you'll just do lighter ones, and you'll work up to as heavy as you can. But it should be better in like 2 weeks. But you don't want to do nothing, okay? Or assume like your back's broken and you go see a doctor. Doctors don't know shit. They're probably just going to tell you to not lift weights ever again, or they want to do surgery. Because if a doctor saw my back, he'd probably think I need to have surgery and then my back's fucked up and I have degenerative discs. Well, every weightlifter has a back like that. And what are you going to do? Just lift light weights the rest of your life? So it'll get better if you actually had an injury, then like a real injury, like a motorcycle accident, then I don't know if squatting, deadlifting is going to help that much. It probably will, because the blood carries the nutrients and the stuff that can repair the area. Okay. So, and you probably tweaked it. I tweaked my back because I lost concentration and I didn't brace as hard as I could. So basically you want to take as big of a breath as you possibly can. And then focus on keeping your back straight, not overextended, and obviously not in flexion. And then go in. But you take your time and get as hard of a brace as you can. That's why I do my deadlifts. I start on my knees, because if I was starting in the normal deadlift start position, I can't brace as hard as I can because my stomach is kind of restricted. And back when I used to do the mixed grip deadlifts, I used to brace standing up straight, and then I grip onto the bar. So you want to get as hard of a brace as you can, because your back's not something you want to mess around with. Okay, it's not. You gotta be really careful. And so, yeah, the doing nothing is probably the wrong thing to do in about 95% of tweaks or injuries, because you need to get blood flow to the area. And so if lots of old people say you need to just sit and rest, and look at them, they're like a jello shaped into a human form. Okay, they're like flubber, but without the bouncing. All right, guys, I just found the most inspirational thing of all time.
There's no point standing around. We'll only be showered by more boulders. Ready your horses on the double.
Be honest. Are all of us riding to our deaths?
Where do they fucking find these people? Shit. There we go. Okay, fuck you. Was my keyboard not hooked up anymore? Okay. There we go. This is so fucking Japanese. Here a day for the Emperor! Banzai! Man.
If we'll die anyway, then who cares what we do? We could just disobey your orders, and it wouldn't mean a thing, would it?
Yes, you're precisely right.
Some people get pumped up by this. Hey, just in case that's you, hey, may I remind you that it's acting. It's a fake person. You know, really inspirational.
Everything that you thought had meaning, every hope, dream, or moment of happiness, none of it matters as you lie bleeding out on the battlefield.
Oh, that's fucking inspirational.
Rock dust to a body. We all die. But does that mean our lives are meaningless? Does that mean that there was no point in our being born? Would you say that of our slain comrades? What about their lives? Were they meaningless? They were not! Their memory serves as an example
here you
to
go.
us all!
Yeah. Make sure you go and die for the state, everybody. Yeah. It's really cool. Make sure you go and get yourself killed because some guy said that he said that the guys on the other side of the pond are really bad and they're evil and they hate you and they want to kill you. Oh yeah. And those guys over there, they're being told the exact same thing. Okay? And this is what public school does to you. All right? It turns you into a fucking conformist dipshit. And you know, it did a pretty fucking good job. You just think of the pandemic. All right, guys. Hottest new product on the market, Super Pump Max. If you want a fucking crazy lift in the gym, if you want to have a freaky fucking pump, then you want to get this. You getting that, Chad? Super Pump Max. Okay. You having trouble? Are you sleeping really well? Are you sleeping really well? Are you sleeping like a rock? Well, that can all go away if you just pop a little bit of this. Okay. All right. So, what else can we say about this, Chad? You've taken this before. You like this?
No.
You don't like
How
this?
much caffeine's in it?
It's 200 milligrams per scoop. Okay. So if you're a Zoomer, you won't even feel that. But for the rest of us, that probably will lead to insomnia. Then again, you know, you're also used to Adderall and all. You can't say that. You're used to ADHD meds. Chad, you're freaking cross-eyed right now. You're used to your ADHD meds, and you're constantly being stimulated. You're on TikTok, and somehow it doesn't horrify you when you see people acting like freaking like they should be institutionalized. But I didn't grow up in that generation. I'm not that old, and I'm way bigger than you. So would you say it to my face? I'm not a violent guy. I wouldn't hurt a fly. Doesn't land on me, then I fucking crush it. Stinky fuckers, man. Remember the fly invasion, Chad, a couple months ago?
That was bad.
Oh, yeah. My brother was like the Joseph Mangala to the flies. Man, those freaking flies. There's a fly graveyard.
And the maggots.
And the maggots. Oh, maggots, yeah. That's what you guys are. Not all of you. But if you're one of these people, like the one guy, he said, I linked him a Devin Townsend song called Namaste. And I think he just got a little bitchy because I said that the animes, these funk anime remixes are, I just said when I heard it, I wanted to smash my TV because there's no life in that. There's no balls. That's why listening to dance music and goofy shit like that, how could that possibly inspire you? It's for dancing. It's for anime. Anime is so cringe, okay? You think of anime acting. Imagine people in real life acting like that. They're like, it's like, oh, I'm an Attack on Titan character. Oh, these giants, they're everywhere. I don't know if I'm gonna survive, but I will try anyways. See, right? Imagine real life humans don't act like that. Hopefully they don't act like that. But somehow you weirdos are inspired by that, and you think it's not some you think it's. I'd be embarrassed if someone caught me watching that. That's like worse than getting caught watching X videos. You know, I can't say the Cornhub. If you're on Cornhub, that's worse, or it's worse to be watching anime than to be on Cornhub. Okay, man. Don't watch corn. Okay. So, what was it? What was I saying? Anyways, yeah, that little guy, he was being a little bitchy. Don't be bitchy. Listen to heavy metal. Listen to music. Well, most heavy metal is cringe, but Devin Townsend's not cringe. Okay. Stripping the Lie is not cringe because everything he writes is honest. That's why he doesn't just do metal music, because he writes stuff that he wants to make. Otherwise, he has some filler because he had like obligations to do certain albums like SYL in 2003. There's still good songs on that. You got Relentless, you've got Force Fed, you've got Aftermath, you've got Bring On the Young. And so give it a shot. Check it out. Stop listening to freaking dance music, okay? And stop listening to rap. Are you kidding me? Rap? Why do you listen to that? Well, I know why you don't listen to it. It's because you probably don't have a father, or if you did, he didn't teach you anything about taste, or I don't know. He never gave you no moral instruction, and so you see merit in that fucking garbage music that has like third grade rhymes with substandard English. It's like the lowest form of English. Okay, some Chinese guy that just got off the boat has better English than these people. Back in the 80s, you could still understand what the rappers were saying. Nowadays, it's just like, oh man, they do that. Man, dude, that's tight. Shit. Actually, nobody even talks like that anymore. Okay. No dance music, no rap, no weed. Probably don't take this either because, you know, sleeping's actually nice. But the point of this video was filler. All right, so it's that time again. Lunchtime. I haven't had very many calories today, so I'm gonna eat a shitload. Don't be jealous. Let's check it out. Let's check it out together. So 200 per two. So I'm gonna have 12 plus a little bit of milk. Just enough to be comfortable. And so let's see, I got 6 times 9 is 54. Perfect. I'm supposed to do the breakfast thing today, but I didn't. I need to buy toast. And we're not doing eggs because eggs make me sick. Oh yeah, so the good pan's in the mail, trust me. I decided this one has sentimental value. Okay. It's like my shirts that I have, they're all ripped up. I mean, to you, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Besides, it covers most of my body, so I'm gonna wear it. That ripped up Jeter one that I was wearing the other day for deadlifts, I went back out and I was, because what I do is I do some work, and then I come home in the middle of the day and I do my remaining deadlifts, because I don't want to do them after work. And so, one of my customers, he likes that. This guy from Pakistan. Yeah. Oh man, these things are kind of ugly looking. Oh my goodness. Oh. All right. Hopefully they taste better than they smell. Oh. All right. And, you know, frankly, I can see these portions seem retarded or like ludicrous, but you're not going to get over 250. You're not even going to get over 230 pounds unless you start just wolfing down food. Okay. So sizzling pretty good. We're going to turn these guys soon. And I like breakfast sausages because the flavor obviously in there. They're not bent, so they're easier to cook. So, oh yeah, my weight. So, the lightest I was as an adult so far was 199. Okay, and 199 at my height is fucking pathetic. Okay, my brother says I look like I had AIDS, and he's right. And the heaviest I was, which was on cycle, in morning weight was 293, or should I say 500. Tomorrow's the redemption pizza. Okay. Then I'm going to be Italian again. That was fucking pathetic. This is another good thing. And it just tastes, it's like liquid yogurt, okay? And they actually have these at Sobeys. Normally they just have the sugary one. Oh, freaking sugar addicts. Once you break your sugar addiction, then you'll be able to enjoy this really plain style of eating. Well, if you have to eat a lot of food, then you'll enjoy like a little bit of it. I still like coffee and pizza, but I don't eat pizza every day. When I was doing my original bulk, I was eating like chicken wings 3 days a week. I would drink a gallon of milk a day, whole milk, and then I would eat chicken wings 3 or 4 times a week. 16 chicken wings at a time, and obviously they had barbecue sauce or honey garlic on them. I'd eat pizza probably 5 days a week. So imagine, your milk plus pizza and chicken wings in the same day. That's no wonder I had breasts. My gut and my thighs were bigger when I was a lighter weight, when I was natural, when I was at my biggest. Well, when I was in the 270s, my gut was bigger than I was when I was at my biggest at 293. Because I couldn't even do the button up in my pants. Otherwise, it would have popped off and poked someone's eye out. Probably would have put a hole through a car door panel or something. And so I just zipped the zipper up and put a belt on. And if the pants were like fresh out of the dryer, I'd have to like squeak into them. All right, it's sausage time. Oh, holy shit! It's just like yesterday. Just because I'm a Stone Cold fan doesn't mean I approve beer drinking. Huh? What? You put no people what? You guys asked me about accessory exercises. Zercher squat and deadlift. And Jefferson squat. The only accessories you need for squat doesn't need any accessories. And if you can do low bar squat, that's what you should do. My shoulder mobility is terrible. It used to be good, but either because I got bigger or because I pinned my shoulders a lot, because there's so much scar tissue there. When the needle goes in, it's like. Because I didn't pin my glutes, because I pinned my glutes 4 times in total. Fuck that. And then when you see the 1.5 inch needle, it's scary. Okay, it's a harpoon. I'm not doing that. And so, yeah, squat doesn't need any accessories, and like you don't need to do hamstring curls. If you do a really hard set of 5 deadlifts, you won't want to do any of that other shit. Okay. So the only accessories you need are some for deadlift and just for some extra volume, Romanian deadlift, or you can do stiff leg deadlift. I've never done that though. But when you're a novice, so if your deadlift is below like 450, then you're still a novice. So you want your set of 5 is below 450, then you're gonna be doing deadlifts twice a week. You do 1 set of 5 twice a week. And then after that, you can do just 1 set of 5 once a week. And then you do Romanian deadlifts, just do 2 sets of 8. And then your squats will be, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example. You do 3 sets of 5 each time, and then you add an appropriate amount of weight. Lots of the accessory stuff just will mess up with your recovery or make you weaker. The high rep stuff, terrible. Doing things doing more than 10 reps, terrible. With my deadlift progression, what I would do is my first weight was 605. Okay, but then I would just do sets of 5 because I wasn't planning on doing another cycle. And so I would just do sets of 5, maybe add a Romanian deadlift at the end just for like boasting. Because, I could do that at the end of the set. And at the time, that was more than Chad's max. But now Chad does 300 kilos. So, when I started getting serious and when I decided I was going to do another cycle again, I think I was at like 625. And so I would just do as many reps as I could or just aim for, and I think it was 8. It was just 8 reps. Okay. And then my next weight, I would do like a 2 kilo jump and then I'd do 8 again. And once I got to a certain weight, probably like, my last set of 8 was with 661 pounds. Okay. And my last rep was hitched. I went all out. That was one of my hardest sets ever. And then for my next set, my next goal was 7. And then eventually all you can do is 5 reps. Okay. And, my last set of 5 before my 801 for a double was 716.6. And, so if it's those lighter weights, then you can go for more reps, okay, if you're doing a deadlift progression. And then, then you feel like you're working hard, because that's basically what I was doing. I'm like, because you have more confidence going into your next one. You're like, I did 8 this time. Okay, so, if you're doing it like 5-pound jump, 5 reps is easily in the bag, unless you like didn't drink for 3 days. So, accessories for bench, you could do the skull crushers, but look up the starting strength method because it's better. Because one of the functions of one of the tricep muscles, because all 3 of them do extension of the elbow, but one of them also is extension of the shoulder. And so what it is when you bring it down, but you go behind your head like this, and then straight. So and then you swing it up. Okay, so you can do more weight, and therefore you're gonna have stronger triceps. But obviously you do it with a W bar, because I tried with a barbell and it feels like my wrists are gonna break. And overhead press. Overhead press has more carryover to bench press than bench press has to overhead press. And you want to do the starting strength dynamic press with the hip thrust and the layback if you can do that. My brother's really good at the layback. I was okay at the layback, but I'm better at the hip thrust. So my best overhead press set was 315 for 4 reps. I almost had 5, but whatever. If you're going all out on those deadlift days, then you're not going to want to do anything else. And if grip starts being an issue, then just use straps, because deadlift isn't about training grip. Deadlift's about training your back, your hips. Okay, so don't be a hipster. Don't try and be a double overhand, bro. You can hardly lift any weight with that. My best double overhand, I did 608, and I got it up to my. It was almost at lockout, and then I had to put it back down because it just slipped out. So it's a huge difference, and hook grip is a good thing to practice. But if you're gonna do a set of 8, you're not gonna like that. And then if you got a really comfortable setup, and then you can keep the bar in a good spot, and you know exactly where to go, like keep it close to your shins. It doesn't have to it's not supposed to drag up your shins, because obviously that's going to create a lot of friction, and you don't want that, because you want the weight to go as smoothly as possible. So if you got a good feel for it, then you want to brace standing up straight, because that's when you can get the hardest brace. I remember there was this kid in high school, and when I was in high school, when I was 18, I was in a fitness class, and we were testing our maxes. I did 405, high bar, no belt. It was back when my back was like, it was before I fucked it up a bunch. Okay, my knees felt way better. I remember when I was younger, I used to just be able to like drop like it was the freaking Tower of Terror in Disney World. I just used to be able to drop down on my calves and then bounce back up. No pain. Back felt good. Can't do that anymore. My shin feels like it's going to break in half if I do that. So I did 405, and this kid, he thought it was crazy. Meanwhile, he was telling people that he could bench 400 pounds, which is way crazier than a 405 squat. So I remember people were telling me that. I remember my brother told me, it's like, oh, you squat, bench 400. So then I asked him, like, you bench 400 pounds? He's like, yeah. You know, he must have went on a machine at the Y, a chest press machine, and had it set to where he's almost locked out, and then he does a 3-inch 405 brigade homie bench press. Because I remember I was walking through the hallway, and he's 2 years younger than me. It was a younger class, because I did 5th year of high school, because I'm that cool. Because I was planning on going to college for some sort of fitness program, and you needed grade 11 biology or exercise science. So I took both of those in my 5th year. And I remember I was walking through the hallway, and he was with his friend. He's like, that's the guy. That's the guy. I remember there was this kid that when I was working, it was a couple years ago, but I've seen him a few times since. He was really outgoing, and I was putting my trimmer away, and I was going to get my leaf blower out to clear off the driveway and the walkways, whatever. And he started talking to me. And we were talking for like 25 minutes. And anyway, I don't know. He thought we were. When I saw him later and he's waving at me, I guess he wants to be my friend. And so, no problem. He's probably 13 at the time, and I saw him earlier this year, and he was riding a bike or a scooter or something. He's one of these kids. And what the hell is he talking about? I remember I was talking to him, and I asked him if he smokes weed. He's like, no way, man. I'm like, okay, yeah. What do you drink any alcohol? I'm like, I don't. And then I'm like, alcohol's just as bad. He's like, what? You don't drink alcohol? Alcohol's probably worse than weed. Doesn't mean go smoke weed. I don't think we're friends anymore. He doesn't think I'm cool anymore. I'm a square. If they stop hanging out with you because you don't drink anymore, then, I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to poison yourself so that you can go hang out with them? They're asking you to poison yourself so that you can hang out with them. That sounds like just like something a friend would do, right? Oh, gee, thanks. When's the funny part going to show up? Or we'll tell it's like a Seinfeld style story. Okay. So you've heard of my man cake, right? It's a thing of legend. Okay. When I first started my business, in 2015, and I was seeing this girl, okay? And one day she's house sitting for her aunt, so I go over to the house, and then, I make us man cakes, okay? And of course, like I said, it's maybe it's indescribable. It's just so good. So, I mean, I don't know if I made her any more than that, but one of those is that's you'll never forget that. So, was this like 2 months later? Okay, maybe a month later. Anyways, we start having like She moves away to do a work placement about an hour and a half away. So it's like a medium distance relationship because she used to come home on the weekends. And one day I get like semi-ghosted, okay? I'm like, or just taking really long to reply. And if she does reply, she gives me like one word replies, or just something that's like holy shit, I wish you'd leave me alone. I'm just gonna do this because I feel bad or whatever. I'm gonna get it out of the way. And so I'm like, oh, maybe she's going through something because this girl had, she's really hot, and so maybe you'll put up with bipolar disorder. Okay, so so one day into the the depressive phase, she like excitedly asked me my recipe for man cakes. Okay, I'm like, oh sure, this will cheer her up. So I explained the whole thing. There's no like specific measurements. I told her exactly how I eyeball it. Okay, I do it by feel. Okay, it's like music. Okay. And so, anyways, I'm like, okay, well, that'll probably fix things up. It's like a couple days later, she's like, we need to talk. Okay, and then she drives home for the weekend. I think it's Thanksgiving here in Canada, which is in early October, and then she dumps me. So, so, to me, that reminds me of Seinfeld. That's something George Costanza would do. It's like Jerry's like, you had sex before you broke it off, right? You stole his man cake recipe before you broke it off, right? No one can make a man cake like me. Holy shit. Man, that's fucking dastardly. Oh. Holy cow. I could just wash my nuts. Maybe we got one more story in us. What are we gonna do? We gotta tell more embarrassing, like girl involved stories. So, whenever it seems like every time I've tried to help a girl out and it requires strength, for me, it's an abysmal failure. The first one I can remember is when I was in horticulture class in high school, and there was this door that was like fucking wedged. It was like really hard to open up. It was kind of like wedged shut. And so I'm like, let me help you out with that. And I'm really straining and it doesn't move at all. And then, you basically just run away and hopefully she doesn't remember that for the rest of her life. What's another one? I also remember when I showed up at my customer's house and and I had to get to the backyard and there was a lock on it, but there was like this little pin that was like really like rusty and it wouldn't come through so that the gate would open up. And so she's working on it. She's trying to open up, but this girl, the granddaughter's there and she's doing that and she's straining. And so then I stick my hand through. I'm like, here, let me try. And I try to do it with just my thumb. Like, here I go. And I try to squeeze like this. Okay. And, performance anxiety, right? And so, holy shit. What the hell? It didn't budge. And then the grandson came out. And he opened it up. Maybe she saw that episode of Seinfeld and she remember Jerry's nudist girlfriend, and when she's straining with the pickle jar, it's really off-putting to Jerry. And this girl was in a really skimpy bikini, like 2 feet in front of me through the gate. I remember one time when I used to do jiu-jitsu and I had to go against a girl, okay? Or when we were practicing moves and the girl had her legs wrapped around my head. Holy shit. You just gotta, Oh man, you gotta hope they put you with an ugly girl, so you know there's nothing embarrassing happens. Or you gotta wear really loose fitting gi pants. Okay.